The story begins in a lab where janitors are doing their usual night shift cleaning. One of the janitors, Ron, notices that a scientist named Peter is still working late. Trying to lighten the mood, Ron cracks a joke, but Peter is too engrossed in his work to notice or respond. Ron continues cleaning and heads inside the lab. Meanwhile, Peter steps out to grab something to eat, but the vending machine is out of order. Frustrated, Peter walks away, visibly upset. Back inside the lab, Ron notices something odd. There's a patient lying there with veins that have turned completely black. Curious and uneasy, Ron approaches the patient and sees 2 different name tags on the man's wrist. It confuses him. He thinks he might recognize the name. Suddenly, the patient twitches, startling Ron. In his panic, he bumps into the life monitor, causing it to flatline. Terrified, Ron believes the man is dying and tries to help by administering CPR. As he gets closer, the patient starts expelling a foul-smelling blue substance from his mouth. Grossed out, Ron stuffs a cotton ball in his own nose to block the smell and continues CPR. But as he presses on the man's chest, his hand sinks strangely into the man's stomach, prompting Ron to scream in terror. The man suddenly wakes up, not as a normal human, but as a zombie, and attacks Ron, killing him. Outside, Peter is still working on fixing the vending machine, unaware of what's happening inside the lab. Soon Ron, now turned into a zombie, ambushes and kills Peter too. The next day, we are introduced to a student named Augie, who joins a scout group led by Rogers. The group records a video to promote their club, hoping to attract more members. However, most students mock the idea of being scouts at their age, dismissing it as something only losers do. Later, scout leader Rogers informs the group that Yogi will be awarded the highest honor in scouting that night, during their camping trip. After the meeting, Carter and Ben leave together and have a private conversation. It turns out they only joined the scouts to support Yogi after his father died. They reveal that although they care for him, they plan to leave the scouts soon to enjoy typical high school experiences like dating and parties before graduating. During their drive home, they argue about this, and in the heat of the moment, Ben gets distracted and hits a deer. The accident also causes a flat tire. As they inspect the damage, Carter jokingly takes a selfie with the dead deer. Just then, Carter's older sister, Kendall, arrives with her friends. Carter flirts with one of the girls, Chloe, while they all notice strange blue marks near the deer's body, possibly suggesting the deer wasn't entirely dead. Carter then asks about a party happening in Quarter Town. Ben shares the address and invites the girls. Excited, Carter proposes a plan to sneak out of camp that night to attend the party and return before morning. Ben agrees reluctantly. Back at the campsite, Scout leader Rogers is en route when he finds a badge belonging to scientist Peter. Suddenly, he hears movement in the bushes. Investigating further, he's attacked by the deer, now turned into a zombie. Rogers manages to kill it with a knife, but another zombie, formerly Peter, appears and kills him. Meanwhile, Carter and Ben head to a liquor store, hoping to get alcohol for the party. Being underage, they try bribing a local lunatic to buy it for them. Instead, the man wanders into the store and starts shopping for other items. Frustrated, Carter follows him in and starts yelling. A girl named Denise exits the store and, noticing the commotion, offers to buy alcohol for them. She later heads to her job at an adult club, where she works as a dancer. Intrigued, Carter and Ben follow Denise to the club, but are turned away by a scary-looking bouncer due to their age. They flee. Later, they return to the scout camp where Augie has already arrived, but Rogers is still missing. The boys assume Rogers is testing them and proceed to set up the camp. They bond while doing so and become a tight team. That night, around the campfire, Augie confesses that he's finally happy since finding good friends after his father's death and vows never to quit Scouts. Meanwhile, at the party, Kendall is anxious because Carter and Ben haven't shown up. Ben, however, dances with her, trying to distract her. When Augie falls asleep, Carter and Ben sneak off to the party. On the way, Ben sees Roger's knife and becomes worried. He also spots some footprints. Still, Carter insists they go on, but suddenly, Augie appears in front of the car. He confronts them, upset after learning they don't want to stay in Scouts. Disappointed, he tells them to leave. Back in the city, Carter and Ben notice the streets are eerily empty, but don't think much of it. They change into party clothes near a convenience store and enter the club where Denise works, finding it strangely abandoned. Ben watches a performance, but quickly realizes the dancer is a zombie. Carter joins in, throwing money, but things take a dark turn. The zombie dancer falls off the stage, and her blue fluid lands on both boys. The bouncer, now zombified, attacks them. Carter runs to the restroom, and Ben fights back with a bottle. Denise arrives just in time and shoots the zombie bouncer dead. Elsewhere, Augie visits Roger's home and finds it empty. He leaves a message and goes to the bathroom, where he's attacked by Rogers, now a zombie. Yogi narrowly escapes by using a spray can and lighter to fight him off, eventually tying him to a chair before fleeing. Denise informs Carter and Ben that the city is under a zombie outbreak and they must escape. While fixing their car, they're attacked by more zombies. They head to a police station, only to find it deserted with a message about survivors being relocated. There, a zombified officer attacks, but they manage to kill him using an axe and fire extinguisher. More zombies breach the station, and the group locks themselves in a jail cell. Ben crafts a weapon, while Carter sleeps. Outside, Augie lures the zombies away using loud music from a car, giving them a chance to escape. Augie rejoins the group, but during a scuffle, the jail cell key falls into a hole. Using his scout skills, Yogi picks the lock and defeats a zombie, freeing everyone. They escape and find a truck, but the driver is a zombie. Augie tries to communicate by making animal noises and singing, which bizarrely works until a military officer shoots the zombie. The officer tells them the virus is spreading fast. Ben suddenly remembers that Kendall is still at the party. They rush there but find the wrong location. Jeff had given them false directions. They argue until Denise notices a bite on the officer. He turns into a zombie and attacks. Denise kills him, and they hear a radio message warning the city will be bombed in 2 hours. Ben recalls that Kendall writes everything in her diary, including the party address. They go to her house to retrieve it. There, they're attacked by Miss Fielder, a zombified neighbor. Zombies begin swarming the house. They barricade themselves in Kendall's room and plan to escape using a trampoline to reach the neighboring house. One by one, they jump. Ben nearly falls while retrieving the diary, but is saved. They head to Miss Fielder's house and are again attacked, this time by zombie cats. After a chaotic fight, they escape using her car. Driving through the streets, they hit Rogers, still a zombie, but keep going. Ben sends Denise to find military help while the rest head to the party location. Along the way, they stop at a hardware store to build weapons. At the party, zombies infiltrate and attack the guests. Kendall watches as Jeff is bitten and chaos breaks out. Ben, Carter, and Augie arrive just in time and fight off the zombies, helping the kids escape and sealing the doors behind them. Trapped in a basketball court, Augie reveals he made an emergency bomb. He prepares to detonate it, but Denise arrives and shows them a way out. The others escape, but Augie stays behind to activate the bomb. He narrowly escapes before the building explodes. As the dust settles, a zombified Rose rises but is shot down by the army. The next morning, the survivors are in an army camp. Ben finally confesses his feelings and kisses Kendall, ending the story on a hopeful note.